There's a dark history behind my brand, Mejor Amiga, and over the weekend, we quietly celebrated 7 years in business. So here's what you don't know. 7 years ago, I started a business on the anniversary of my cousin's murder. But I didn't start a business, I started a practice of sharing how I became my own best friend, because many years ago, I knew if I didn't, history would repeat itself. And it almost did when I became pregnant. This is a part of my becoming for everyone who asks how and why I do it. Because people always ask me, Daniela, how do I heal? How do I move forward? My answer is always the same. Go to nature. Learn the rhythm. Learn the moon. It sounds so silly, I know. But people have been using the moon for millennia, and I found beauty in it. I'm like you, but a little different, because I'm a rehabbed, reformed perfectionist. In 2019, I decided to go back to school for software engineering and set my intention to unlearn my perfectionist habits, to learn to get out of my own way. At the same time, I started selling teas and tumblers, not because I was good at it, but because I had to practice being seen. My motto: make it exist first, and then get good later. I took an herbal reproductive course in 2023, and so I'd say I'm pretty good at it now, and in time I know I'll be bringing herbs back into the shop, but that's not part of our journey right now. But here is where the magic happened. I started to heal, and I realized my software engineering brain, the one that loves structure, systems, and steps, kept crashing into my spiritual heart. I knew I couldn't code my way out of grief, so I turned to the sky, and it felt like an initiation. It was definitely an initiation. I started studying the moon cycles, not just as an astrologer, but as a survivor. I realized that the moon didn't rush. It doesn't stay full forever either, and it doesn't stay dark forever. It has a rhythm. It reminded me of the yin and yang of healing. There's good in every bad, and there's bad in every good. A little piece. Okay, that's the dot. The name Mejor Amiga means best friend in Spanish. Wasn't just for my customers, it was for her, my first best friend. She was taken by domestic violence, a murder-suicide to be exact, when I was 14. They left behind a daughter, and that moment rewired my brain forever. I will never get the image out of my head of the speck of blood on her white purse the day the cop returned her items that were with her that day. When I was in my 20s, pregnant, engaged to a wolf in sheep's clothing, I saw the signs. Because I had already lived through my cousin's story and refused to repeat the cycle of my maternal grandmother and aunts, I walked away. I believe she is the reason I'm alive to tell this story and to witness my daughter grow up. And that is when the moon became my medicine. Before I really understood all her power, I would watch her glow on everything she touched through her phases while on road trips. I realized that the same way the moon moves through phases, new for rest and intention, waxing for action, full moon for release, my healing had to move that way too. I couldn't skip the dark phases. I couldn't rush the light. I had to learn the rhythm of me. That's when Mejor Amiga stopped being just a shop and just tea. It became practice. Because I started sharing my gifts as an astrologer, I realized I wasn't teaching people about planets. I was teaching them about how to contain their healing. My computer engineering mind loves to break things down into bite-sized steps, and the moon cycle gives us exactly that. A 29.5-day container to say, this week we rest, this week we build, this week we let go. That is why I create the self-care rituals, the teas, the tools, not because you need a mug to heal, but because rituals ground us. They remind us that we are part of something bigger than our pain. And now, 7 years in, we are shifting to become a Latina gift shop, full of items to celebrate our heritage without stereotypes. But at the heart of it, it's always community. When you shop with us, together we donate to domestic violence groups, shelters, and refugees. Because grants are hard to get and even harder to get in this current point in time. Community isn't. So if you're watching this and you're in your dark moon phase, the one where you can't see the light, please hear me. The moon always waxes again. You just have to hold on. This is me, Daniela, the woman behind the brand, the survivor, the thriver now, the astrologer, the rehab perfectionist. Thank you for 7 years of letting me be your mejor amiga. Let's make year 8 the one where we teach the world how to heal, one moon cycle at a time. So here is what I want you to remember. Healing isn't about being fixed. It's about finding your rhythm. And your rhythm? It's already written in the sky. Happy 7 years, Mejor Amiga. Let's keep walking in beauty the best we can.